Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Code for episode 81 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players. Same as always, we have Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, and Christo. Frank's not here. I said his name anyways, but he's here with us in spirit. Our cleric will return to us because he has a mission. Clerics go through with their missions and whatnot. Guys, it's been like how many weeks since I've been here?
A couple.
I've fully forgotten how all this works, but I'm just happy to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, let's do a recap of something that happened 10 million years ago. So last time you had just finished a combat with the god Loki, who had transformed into a large dragon, seemingly kind of just out of spite and maybe for the lulz. We don't know. You guys defeated him, at least in dragon form, and Saga received her memories back and went off with Bragi to go find her son. The rest of you pick up from there, following a blood trail to Loki, who said he had to go to his part-time job, and it was the truth. He stands bloodied in a bakery, and through some kind words and some healing, he is willing to give you information about the aptly named Goldchin Joe and the witch that works with him, finding out sort of vaguely what they're doing and vaguely where they may be going, which is the most you've ever gotten. It is a trickster god, so, take it with a grain of salt, maybe. But because of the kind words and healing visible from Nana Hemming, Loki offered up a gift. And this gift is a box that is locked, and Loki says, I don't know how to open it, and just fully gave it to you. It said, it's magic. And so you have that on your person now. The party decided that following the lead of Tordrekt's goddesses, that they would head southward, looking for corruption in the waters. As you head that way, after receiving your gift, after getting nights in inns and free drinks, Roshan is stopped near the edge of town by the shadow that follows him, requesting that they spend one more night in town, that there's something they need to do. And Roshan obliges. And the party kicks open the door to another inn at the edge of town, where they receive free room, free drink, and one more night to party, I suppose. And
what you get when you slay dragons,
When you slay a dragon in a town, you get things free. Except like objects from a shop, because they're like, actually, no.
Yeah. It's the one time they say no.
This watered down ale is free. This like tangible object, no. This necklace, not free.
Inconsistent.
Boo. But that is where we left off, I believe, is with all of you entering this tavern to have one more good night before you're back on the road again. Is there anything in particular anybody wanted to do besides have a good time?
Roshan wanted to ask the proprietor for as many rooms as there are people, if that's available.
I would like you to roll me a luck check.
Let's see. I got a 7.
Lucky 7!
That is a lucky number.
Not today.
Damn.
So it looks like many of y'all
That's the terrible thing, like rolling a 7 on a luck check. Irony of ironies.
You could probably get a single room for one person, but not a single room for everyone.
That's fine.
Perfect.
Roshan is going to tell everyone that he's going to head to bed early tonight. I had too much to drink last night, so I'm going to take it easy tonight. I'll see you when I see you. Have a good night, everyone. And then excuse himself to a bed.
Totally
Well,
cool
sure
with
you
giving
do.
the room to a guy that doesn't need to sleep all to himself when he wants a room to himself. Like, just whatever's going on in there, I don't want any part of it.
Just the
You're sure
sound
you
of
don't need
flipping
anything before you
pages
go?
from a book all night long. Just like, oh God.
Jesus. It's like,
I don't. If I need something, I'll send some magic for it.
all right, but don't hesitate to ask if there's anything that we can do. All
Of
right?
course.
Take care of
And
yourself. Get some
You
good
head
rest.
up to the room by yourself.
I don't know. Can Nana kind of like try and see whether or not there's anything kind of like under the surface that Roshan's trying here?
By all means, roll insight.
Can't guarantee I'll roll well. Maybe it'll be nothing. Yeah. That's about what I expected. That would be a total of 11.
I think it just be genuine. Roshan he did wake up very hungover this morning, and
That is true.
Roshan didn't tell you a lie.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
The words he said were true and evident.
All right, fair enough. Hope he has a good night to himself.
all alone.
God damn it. Nana's trying.
I'll get there.
She's not good enough.
Hey, listen, if Roshan ever just does something blatantly obvious, like no roll necessary.
Fair enough. I hope it
But
doesn't get that bad, but okay.
hey, we'll see what happens. Roshan, you head upstairs to a quiet, empty room, and the rest of you are downstairs. What happens downstairs?
Oh.
Tordrekt and Gorbjorn are drinking.
Hell
A fair
yeah.
bit of drinking, yeah. Nana is definitely looking over this box from Loki. Like, she's not making a big show of it. She doesn't want people outside of the party necessarily thinking that she's showing something off. She's just kind of like looking it over while she's drinking, like kind of trying to figure out, is the box magical? Am I gonna have to ask one of my friends to look at it with their magic eyeballs? What's the deal?
Who got magic eyeballs in this place? Half your friends have
Half
magic
my
eyeballs.
friends have magic eyeballs.
Um,
I don't.
You can go ahead and roll Arcana for me. Just
Yeah,
giving it a
alright.
glance over.
Fair enough. Is that one of my worst skills? Let's find out.
No, you're pretty good at intelligence.
Yeah, you're
Oh.
smart for some
You're
reason.
pretty
Am
smart.
Can I?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not
slightly
good at
better than
Arcana.
other things.
I'm not good at Arcana. Is there any way I could help Nana if I'm sitting at the table drinking with her though? Like,
Only if somebody else was like proficient or half proficient, they could help.
okay, yeah, I could. Yeah, no.
I
There's
rolled
nothing.
a nat 20.
Nana's eyes wide and just all
Holy
the information just shoots in there.
But one
Oh,
thing
God.
I remembered.
Golveg's inside.
Oh, God!
Hello?
Hello?
Ma'am?
Mom?
Mom is
Mom?
that
Fire Mom?
you look the box over and honestly, gosh, if you were maybe a different character with abilities, I could help you. But
Yeah.
you
I'll roll
are
eyes for her. I don't know.
you are certain that this box is magic.
Okay.
You feel pretty strongly about that.
All right,
Loki
that's
said it
fair.
was, and you're
All
like,
right.
after looking it over and like taking like one of the little legs and trying to like bend them and like move things around and looking at the runes carved all around it,
Mhm.
she seems sturdy and she seemed magic.
Okay.
You give the lid like a little bit of a pull, there is no give. There
What
is a
kind of,
tiny keyhole though.
That's what I was about to ask. What sort of locking mechanism is on there?
Yeah, there's a
It's
keyhole.
just like flush against the front, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
The box is probably like you could hold it in your hands like this,
Okay. Yeah.
and it has 4 little leggies.
What do my wolf eyes see, Julian?
What do your wolf eyes see? In magic.
That's it.
You see that the box itself is magic, and you can see that something inside the box is much more magic than the box itself.
That makes sense.
The inside of that box is chef's kiss. You can just feel it in your bones.
Do I get a sense of what schools at all, or?
If y'all go about your business, I can give you a sense of.
Ooh.
Sorry, the nerd in me wants to know, but
I
Gorbjorn's
understand
fine.
completely.
I'm like,
Super
it means
purple
nothing
magic.
to Tordrekt, but it means to Gorbjorn, but it means things to us.
I know.
This is very strange. I can tell that there's something magical about it. I'm not schooled enough to know what.
I would
I
like
wish I
kind
could
of
ask
like
Roshan.
take your hands while you're holding it and like put it
Yeah.
in my face and like get super into it now. And I'm like,
I imagine him sniffing the wood, like just.
more like gnawing on it, trying to break it open. Kind of
So the box itself, I would say, is leaning towards transmutation. And I always think to myself, like, Jillian, you should write these down because somebody's going to ask you, and then I don't. I'm like, nobody would do that to me.
No, never.
Nobody's a nerd at my table.
That's a lie.
Ridiculous.
Just soft cackling. Tell me what school it is.
It's the school for big fat dummy nerds.
Well,
Well, whatever kind of magic is involved with it, so long as it's not something that would, I suppose, harm the person trying to get in, seems like a fairly simple lock. Fen, I remember you picking... Whose drawer was it? You were picking something for me when I was small enough to think that that was funny.
Stepping back in super fast. After all of that, both are transmutation.
Both? Both the box,
The box
and
and
the
the
thing inside
contents.
it?
Yes.
Cool beans.
Interesting.
Just a small bag of beans in your hand. Cool beans. I shouldn't have reminded him he had beans.
Well, Gorbjorn doesn't like the beans. I personally love chaos, but
It's good stuff. There's just a statue out there talking shit for eternity about
No,
Gorbjorn.
it
It's
only
really
lasts for
good.
24 hours and then it goes inert.
yeah. So there's just a random statue of me just hanging out in the wild, probably like
Just
very,
in like a
angry.
random spot. It is a very
and the
just
expression. The expression looks like it's talking shit. It looks like it
You
was
know he's
frozen
mad
in the
about
middle
Oh
of
yeah,
talking
he's
shit.
mid-rage, like don't you.
and then it just mid speak, just the curl of the lip at the top. Anyways,
Amazing.
all transmutation continue.
It's been forever since I've picked a lock. I think you wanted to hide sheep shit in Ave's footlocker.
That was it.
Yeah, that was not a good prank, but
That's
it was
Well,
rude.
it seemed like a good idea at the time, and I was, what, 10? 12 maybe.
We were young. It's been forever since I picked a lock. I don't have the tools to do it. If we buy some before we leave town, I could give it a shot.
Maybe. My only concern would be if the box is magic, if there's a spell on it, I worry that it might be magicked in such a way that it would affect someone trying to pick the lock.
Yeah, but maybe it's a challenge now. I'll have to try.
And
it wouldn't-
YOLO. It just
I
It
suppose.
wouldn't hurt to have a set of tools like that, anyways.
That's true. Gorbjorn, what did you get off of the thing? You took a very thorough look at it.
Well, box looks annoying, but what's ever inside is really, really shiny.
Magical?
Just like kind of like a big grin as he's just like, can I Arcana or investigate this with my wolf eyes?
Whichever way you would like to lean, different answers for either.
I want to say investigate because he like wants to feel the runes and stuff like that, and like
Yeah.
I I'm sure Tordrekt is there. He's got his book on him. Maybe he can offer that for some reference for runes and shit.
Tordrekt is currently
No,
getting shit faced.
Tordrekt is bouncing
That's
coppers into his drink or something.
Watch it. Guys, he's not even looking. It's just
Oh God,
nature.
I had the mental image of jalapeno poppers.
So I got a 15 on investigation.
Okay. Is there? Can you give me a direction, or would you just like me to say what I think that would give you?
He sees the key and he doesn't really. He's more known for like breaking boxes, but he knows the box is weird. So he's gonna be like pushing at random spots and kind of like feeling for any like weird like lump. He's like looking for a secret compartment.
Puzzle box.
Okay,
type of
okay.
Yeah,
thing.
kind of puzzle box it.
Yeah.
I love that he
Nudging
could get
and
into
poking
maps
and-
and puzzle boxes.
I mean, like, he's about the fine things in life, is Gorbjorn. He's a prince of a higher caliber.
Yeah,
Be ready if we have to fight a minotaur.
it pops out.
Bah!
You test the legs. There's no give there. They seem to have the same sturdiness about them. You try to move the lid. There is no shift to the lid whatsoever. You touch any apparent runes, places in between runes. Nothing seems to give. And the thing that you're learning about this, the more you touch it, is it doesn't look as sturdy as it feels. This box feels insane to the touch, because you like normally you could like bend a little something under thumb.
It's wood. You could like feel the pressure go through.
Yeah, there is no give to this in any spot. As you kind of look it over and move around, as you shift it from side to side, it's sort of like a shashunk, shashunk, shashunk.
So I
is
can
the sound.
discern that there's multiple in there.
Yeah, it sounds like there's multiple things. Shashunk, shashunk, shunk, 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 you know. But it does not seem to have, from what you can tell, a secret button or hiding spot.
Before I give it back to Mac, I'm gonna do a spicy like maraca shake to it, and then.
Shunk, 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 shunk. Here you go.
Is there anybody in this bar that looks particularly shady?
Me.
I
You see
mean,
Gorbjorn, cloak, crown, scar across the face. You're like,
yeah,
anywhere else?
yeah. Anybody else?
Go ahead, and this is going to be another luck check.
I got a 6.
Oh,
This is
no!
the most upstanding crowd we've ever
Everybody
been in.
here looks so pleasant. I mean, but it looks like
Everybody
a
here
bunch
looks
of hardworking people. It looks like people who just got off of work.
Real salt of the earth.
I was about to
kind
say
of
salt of
folks,
the
you
earth
know,
people.
just honest laborers taking their beer at the end of a hard day.
That is the vibe of the place.
The good fisherman coming back to the docks.
Yeah.
Understood. All right. I'm not going to be able to borrow thieves' tools off anybody.
You
Got
go
it.
up to a fisherman like,
no.
you got like a
Hey,
lock pick, and he's like, what?
Pardon? A what? For
You
what?
call me a scoundrel?
Ah,
And then you guys have to fight the bar.
oh
Dragon
You
hero
insulted
slayers
one
to town slayers.
no! Yeah.
We killed everybody in town.
Oops.
Loki didn't have to do anything.
Oh God! That
Finish
was what
that
he wanted
dragon's
all
job.
along.
Yeah, that dragon didn't kill anybody, loser. Yeah, you guys continue to drink and talk. The box and Enigma.
Fenn's keeping pace with Nana, and he's gonna work with Jenny, kind of at the table or whatever.
Mhm.
So not getting Tordrekt Gorbjorn drunk, but just hanging out and practicing with my bird.
Sure, go ahead and roll animal handling.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
I got a 4.
God
Seems she
damn
has
it!
forgotten things that she used to know.
No!
He seems a little put off, I think, by the noise of the space. And you're like,
Ah.
later. Don't worry, Jenny.
That's all right, Jenny. Wrong place, wrong time. It's okay.
It'll just
You've gone through a
hide in
lot.
a corner.
Jenny's like, I don't want to fly around this room. There's so many people.
Smells
Uh,
like cats.
There's so
it
many
probably
cats
does.
here.
Yeah, that would throw her off her game.
Yeah, there's
That would
also a
throw
shit ton of
anybody off
cats
their
in this
game.
bar. It is
Oh
unavoidable.
no!
Oh my
no.
God.
No
Okay, noted.
wonder. It's okay.
Me and
Probably-
Tordrekt would bet cats for like a drinking game. It's like, I bet this cat. It's like, all right, two cats.
They're just betting cats back and forth, and they're just hanging out.
But like
Who
the
has
funny
the
thing,
cutest beans? 1, 2, 3, and just pause up. You win.
God. Wait, does the winner or the loser drink in that case?
We all
no,
drink it.
we're just throwing cats at each other practically across the table. Like it's just all in fun.
Yeah. Don't you just casually throw cats at people for funsies? What's the point of having cats if you're not doing that?
Yeah,
They
I mean,
love
it's- You got to bet on it too. The trick is to figure out what the bookie's feline is.
Boo. Is there anything else?
God damn it.
Is there anything else?
Oh God. I feel like it's like a lot of Nana and Gorbjorn and Fen and Tordrekt just chatting back and forth about the box, and then at some point it breaks off into like drinking and carousing, and there's songs. Tordrekt probably starts up a conga line at some point. You know how we do.
Inevitable. Conga lines are inevitable.
When Tordrekt is involved, the conga lines must then propagate.
Yeah, it is a known fact. But a good night is had. Roshan.
For him as well.
Oh boy, I hope so. Poor
He
boy.
crawls into bed and falls asleep happily.
Does he?
I bet.
Roshan, you sit there, maybe a bit anxiously, lay down.
Oh, that's not what he's actually going to do.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'd like to know what you're actually going to do.
yeah, he gets up to the room, and
Good night.
if there's
Nighty
no like desk, which I assume there probably isn't, then he'll sit on the bed with the Ave's folio
Mhm.
spread across his lap and start making some more notes until Shadow shows up again.
All right. You continue to take notes in the book. You go past pages where you know there are blank spots, but you had seen flickers of magic of words. You know that there is some way to see more of these, but you'll have to figure it out as you continue to take your own notes. And the hours tick by. The only sound is from downstairs, which gets more raucous. I would like to know,
The
is, like,
familiar
downstairs
sounds of a
crowd
conga
sort of like
line
a
drifting
midnight
up the
vibe?
stairs.
midnight
Yeah,
vibe from downstairs?
It's not like trying to get people involved so much as just like we're just like getting plastered and joking with ourselves kind of thing.
Yeah, we're like pulling all of those old like Galunder in jokes, like all of the Westerner humor that the Easterners just don't get. You know how it is.
I bet she carries 3 spears.
Everyone high fives.
God almighty. I can't.
You guys have a good night, and sort of the tension of the past few days does start to like slowly release. And eventually you find your way to rooms, or as Tordrekt is kind of prone to do, pass out at the bar or in a nice corner table, wherever he happens to be.
Nana will make sure that he has like a little like cloak or a blanket or something to cover him over, just so he's not cold in the night.
No, he's sleeping in the same bedroom as me.
Okay, so Gorbjorn will like put Tordrekt up. in
Gorbjorn's
a
like,
bed.
I can't sleep alone.
No, there is something hunting me. I'm trying to make amends with my buddy after stealing from a church sheet
That's
accidentally.
also sweet.
Got
It's
really
true.
cool.
You're like,
connected
But
let's
also
go,
that.
friend. And you got to get him to a room, but that's easy.
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
carry him. You just
like a little baby.
Yeah, like a little baby.
Like a
He could
little
do-
bearded
nope.
baby.
Yeah, it's
Like a
it's perfect.
250-pound baby.
Just wearing at least 100 pounds of armor and weapons, baby.
A Christian
Gourd,
house
you can do
baby.
But eventually you all get upstairs,
Yeah.
settle down. Sleep comes. And Roshan, out of the corner of your eye around midnight, you see the shadow standing by the door.
So Roshan's got plenty of spells,
Mhm.
but he will start off by ritual casting silence so that he can have a truly private conversation.
As you start to do this, you're like, I got you. And you sit down to start casting. You watch a shadow walk through the door.
The shadow leaves the room.
Uh-huh.
Fine. Roshan will follow the shadow out into the night, or at least out into the bar.
And you walk through the bar.
Does anybody catch sight of him, or is he sneaky?
This is after you all have gone to bed.
I see. Very well then.
But Roshan, if you're trying to stealth, not like I think Roshan's going to stumble into the hall and slam into a door. So really, there's no point. Even though that would be very funny. He it just hits every door on the way out. But Roshan, you follow the shadow into the bar, and
I would expect that from maybe like a comedy campaign, maybe the
Yeah.
Adventure Zone.
we're
but,
funny.
but not like that, you know. Like,
the
we're
shadow
smart.
steps outside through the door, and you follow it into the night. And the shadow stays a few yards ahead of you, and you keep pace. And says nothing. This whole walk, the shadow says nothing.
Would the shadow reply to questions?
You don't know unless you ask him.
Roshan's going to ask, where are we going?
You follow silently in the night. You can hear the sound of like distant waves in the wind, the sound of cats in the distance. No footsteps beside your own, really. And there is no reply. But after taking a moment and taking in your surroundings and looking, you are heading back towards the lighthouse.
He will not try to question any further. So he'll just follow.
You both walk silently. It's a little bit of a trek. Definitely not how it was the first time you went there. You don't have to go as far as you had once gone. But you make your way towards it, and you watch as the shadow stops at the base of the lighthouse.
And then looks up at the lighthouse.
You see its head shift and scan, and it lifts an arm and places it against the bone. And you watch the whole body wince and sort of crumble a bit at the shoulder, as you can see a blue pulse of energy hit at the palm and then slowly radiate through the body. And you watch probably the most stable the shadow has ever looked. It is a consistent form, still dark and unreadable, but solid, unmoving. There is no shifting of the pieces. And it keeps a hand pressed against the tower and turns to face you. There is still no face. There is only the implication of it. and you can just feel eyes staring at you. And the voice comes out clear. Is this how we're going to behave? As the octaves shift up and down, and the face remains stationary, focused fully on you.
Wow, a loaded question. I think Roshan will turn from the gaze of the shadow and look at where its hand touches the tower, and he'll reach out and touch the tower too.
The head follows you and keeps its eyes level. It does not move. Is this how we want to be perceived?
Roshan turns to the shadow and says, I would love to say that I care, but at this point I don't.
The shadow leans in. Then what are we doing? Besides looking like fools, like children, we wish to perceive as childish? And like you can see like the hand straining against the side of the tower. Detached. Are we cruel?
Only as cruel as the world is.
Why would we want to be that?
A defense?
Do you feel stronger? Does it feel safer, better? Do you feel good? Do not answer. We don't. I am forced to wallow in it just as you are. It does not feel good or strong. Why are we doing it? We can be better. We can be. This world needs better. We're better.
So what do I do? What do I change to make the people around me stop leaving?
The shadow rips its hand away from the tower, and the body, it goes up like static and then slams its hand back down and just sinks back into a solid form again. Nothing will stay. Nothing. Your Ave is gone. And that's what happens. Your friends will leave, and that is what happens. And we can't look them in the face when they do. We are wrong. We hurt. If we want to keep them, we have to try.
Try what? What do I do differently?
how about we start thinking outward? I think we have been solitary in our thinking. We should think about how we can help. I want to help. And currently what you are and what you have promised to me is to be your best, is to achieve. And we feel we are lacking. And what we have not done is try to help.
I think Roshan opens his mouth to argue, about to say, we killed a fucking dragon today and saved a town. But I think he swallows his words instead because he knows it's not what the shadow wants to hear.
Our goals have been selfish. And the thing is, that is fine. We can be selfish. And we could be self-loathing. And we could be tired. And we could be so many things that make us feel bad. But if I could save them, I would give anything for that. As this world eats away at everyone here, and if we look inwards and we wait, they will fall. I would like to be proactive. I would like to help. I would like to see who you are without her, because I am not seeing much.
So that gets Roshan's attention, and he'll stare up angrily at the shadow and say, are we not heading in her direction anymore?
She is always our direction. We are going to her.
Then what do you mean, see me without her?
If you are part of the same, you are blood, you are ink. We must be as strong, we must be as solid, or we bring her down with us. We are better for her and for everyone.
So what do you expect me to do?
The hand that has stayed at the side comes up and touches your cheek, solid as a human hand. Baby steps. You asked me for help during the fight. What were you meaning? What were you looking for?
I wanted something, anything that I could use to help save my friends. To put an end to the dragon that was wreaking havoc all over town, that was attacking my friends.
I have been making you stronger, and that is not good enough.
I suppose it's just what it is. And if that's what you have to give, then it will have to be good enough. 'Cause nothing's going to stand in the way of me getting to my sister.
Then let's start on a path so that we can be good enough. And the shadow's body relaxes slightly. Our deal still stands, yes.
Yes. I don't know what it is you see in me, but I should work harder to become whatever that is.
There's a moment, a pause. I see everything. Unending potential. But baby steps. And then looks to the tower. I cannot make you stronger at this time, but I could possibly embolden myself. But I need you to help me.
What do I need to do?
When we were over his corpse, when we first met, I would like the body for a moment.
Roshan will just nod and accept whatever the shadow plans to do.
You hear a soft voice as the shadow steps into you. This may hurt, I'm sorry. And the feeling of being pushed further back in your consciousness is not painful. You can still see the same way. You can still feel your body, just not as strongly. And you begin to feel it move of its own accord. And the first thing it does is pull up your sleeves. And it reaches to the side and takes the rapier and pulls it up slightly out of the sheath and grabs the blade with the free hand, and just gives like a short jerk to cut the palm, and then puts the sword back down. The pain is present, but it is definitely dampened for you. And you watch your hand press against the lighthouse. And the shadow begins to walk using your frame. And you make a perfectly straight circle that connects ever so beautifully after you take one lap. And then the first downward pull as your hand begins to paint runes along the outside. And you watch as little shocks of blue energy move across your blood and sort of stick to your hand. And you watch as blue runes that do not match yours, do not match your tattoos, begin to form up your arm. And you can see shine coming from your face, and you know it is there too. And you know that as this continues, your body is fully engulfed in these shining blue runes.
So while the shadow is in control, Roshan would like to take meticulous mental notes.
Okay.
He's a nerd.
Yeah.
He's a
I'm-
sad boy and a nerd.
I'm two things.
And a
Sad
performer somehow.
and curious.
Very curious.
It is your eyes. They look where they want to look, but they're looking where you want to. It is looking at the designs being made. You can go ahead, if you'd like to at this time, roll Arcana. You still have full mental faculties.
Yeah, I do. I want to roll that.
Me brains still work good.
Ooh.
Ew.
Only an 18.
Okay. It takes you a moment. I think there's something about looking at this in the night. And it harkens back to a moment, and the shadow mentioned the moment when you were both standing above Ave. These are runes particularly for blood magics. This is very specifically, it is not the same as what was happening with Ave. The runes are different. The idea is different. Instead of with Ave's body, it was more of a contain and push away, something to keep him confined and safe, to keep corruption out. This seems like the opposite. This seems like contain and consume is what is currently being painted upon this lighthouse. And for a while, you pace around the lighthouse, taking notes of each rune that is drawn in your blood, and you can feel a bit of the lightheadedness. And then eventually, you stop, you feel yourself stop, and the hand is back where it all started. And you can see the runes glowing upon your form. I'd like you to roll another Arcana check, please. Actually, straight intelligence. I want straight intelligence for that one.
That one is a 16.
Okay. The runes are familiar that glow across your body, and you've seen them before. And as you start to look closer to try and visualize and understand, there is a shock that rips through you. And you think if the pain is dampened, then you can't imagine what it would have been like without that. As you feel your body tense and convulse as the shadow works to keep your hand situated against the lighthouse. And you watch these runes on your body glow brightly until they are near blinding you. And then the hand is ripped away. And you feel yourself pulled back to the forefront, and the runes have faded. And you can feel the dull ache on your hand. And you can look around, and you can see the shadow. No longer touching the lighthouse, but still a bit more solid than they once were. I am appreciative. Thank you.
Is there something that I should call you now?
Do you have something in mind?
No.
Then neither do I. This did not restore. This enforced. I can help you now. I can participate. Would you heal yourself, please?
Sure. Without any thought, he will just use his healing hands class feature and restore 9 hit points.
Easy enough. The dull ache of your hand dissipates.
All it took was one hand clap.
Oh. And you look back at the lighthouse and you see that where your blood had stayed perfectly is now as if dampened, slides down to the ground and sinks into the earth and leaves no trace upon the lighthouse. Walk with me.
Of course. And Roshan will follow, but he'll also keep an eye out for how early is it?
It's by this time it is probably like 2 a.m.
He will keep an eye out for any bakery that does their baking overnight.
I'm not I'm not sure if I can give you a 2 a.m. bakery. What would you like from the bakery?
Whatever they have that's done. I used to work in a bakery. I know that some of them do start at like 10 p.m. and so that they're ready by 6 a.m. So if there's
one
anything
guy trying
done,
to fucking leave and hold up.
Proving any dough in there?
You got cooked dough in there, and they're like, I guess. Easy enough to get, I would say. Then you can acquire a baked good.
he would like enough baked good for breakfast for the party.
All right. Easy enough. My brain stopped. Just throw some copper on the table.
Okay.
Just throw coppers at me. I'm fine.
I forgot money is a thing.
You're like, oh yeah, Gorbjorn has all of the money.
I've got plenty.
I have some money. The shadow walks with you, walks you back to your room. I can't wait to learn more about that book. It will be exciting.
Then Roshan will snack on fresh bread and cast Detect Magic as often as he wants to look at the book, see if he can start riddling out any more of Ave's hidden nonsense.
I will say, using the Detect Magic technique, you will keep getting probably the similar things you acquired. And roll Arcana for me real fast.
Sure. Now a 24.
Hey, that's what we talking about, baby. And you think that might have been on purpose. You think some of this was meant to be easier to read than others.
Lovely.
You're like, this fucking guy.
Dead dad leaving Da Vinci Code riddles.
Son of a bitch. I mean, I'm gonna do them, but come on.
I can
Yeah.
relate to that.
So
that happens.
You spend the time and take into account that did not count as, like, what's the word? Minimal activity. That was, your nap starts at now.
Then he'll not nap today. He'll nap on the cart. It's lighter now.
There's more room. It's fine. And after doing this for a while, you do come to the realization, like, okay, Ave's a prick. There's harder things to read.
Jackass.
What a dickhole. Is there something you would like to try, or is it kind of like, I'm going to continue with my notes and looking over old notes? And
the only other thing we have as a party is the Lantern of Revealing. So Roshan would like to slip into the other room and
First
rifle
question.
through Nana's things to grab the lantern. At 4 a.m.
I'm awake in there.
I was gonna say, like, wouldn't Nana be
The fuck?
listening out for somebody rifling through her shit too?
Stop. Here's the question. The question of all questions: would you guys lock your door?
I mean, this is like, what kind of establishment are we talking? We didn't really
There
talk
are
about what
only
type of
saints
bar
here.
this.
Everybody
There
seemed
are
nice
only
here.
saints.
It seemed like
That
nice
is-
salt of the earth people is what we were saying.
That was from an insight check of the general populace of like 7 or something, though, wasn't it?
That was the earlier afternoon insight check, correct? Yes.
Okay. I don't
Up
know.
to you.
I feel like Nana would be the type of person to be like, we're in a town that we don't know. We lock the doors because we're not stupid. And like the
Nana's
other party
intelligence
members,
is too high.
is it
Um,
though? Is
But if
it
Fen-
though? You
even
can
if
make
Fen
me
was-
roll for that.
Even if
No,
Fen
I
was
just want to
medi-
know if you would do it.
I feel like Nana would be the kind of person to be like, we're in a town that we don't know. We're on the whole other side of
Listen,
the continent.
even though
from
I would
home.
have-
Of course we're locking the door.
I would have loved Roshan to have walked in there to look Fen directly in the eyes and then just like either continue rifling or walk out. But Roshan, the door is locked.
Well,
I'm
then
sorry,
he'll knock at 4 a.m. just real quietly.
Yeah,
Because you know that Fen would be up.
Yeah.
Even if Fen was meditating, he would hear somebody jiggling the door. Like,
Yeah, there's a little, you hear like a slight jiggle and then there's a
Yeah.
knock.
yeah, I'd answer the door. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Do you want some bread?
Uh,
I need Nana's
No.
lantern.
Do you have croissants?
I don't. It's
Croissants are canon now. There was
They're
one
an elf
French dude who
delicacy.
showed up.
from the French area of the world.
The French
The
continent
elf
that I have not
area.
spoken of yet, but
Yes.
can't
The
say it's
French
not
elf
there.
area.
Yes,
Popularized.
of course I want bread. Bread, it's delicious.
Yes.
I'll trade you for Nana's. Well, yeah, Nana's lantern.
Yeah, you want? Okay, yes, take Nana's lantern. Yeah, there's no problem. You don't have to give me bread for it, but I'm taking the bread now. You've
Yeah,
offered
have
bread.
it.
I'm taking it.
Roshan probably bought like 3 loaves of bread and ate half of one himself, so he's full.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to eat bread with me? I thought this was like
Oh.
in memory of Saga. Okay,
Roshan's like, oh my god.
okay. I'll eat the bread
Ooh.
by myself. It's all right. That's fine. Let me know if you want some company.
I'll see you in the morning. I just want to try and catch up on some reading.
Oh, okay. You need the lantern for reading. Understood.
Yep.
Are there no candles in your room?
None that reveal hidden writing.
Oh, okay. I thought you could see in the dark.
I can,
Oh,
and I
okay.
can see magic, but Avi's a bitch.
All right, that's fine. I'll wait. All right, understood.
No, it does not confirm or deny, but it's like, okay.
Ave did get us into some shit.
Yep.
Ave was a
is
little bit of a
true.
bitch.
Avi's a dick.
Little bit.
Like, we can all confirm this. That's fine.
Nana mourns the hell out of him, but absolutely he was a bitch.
No, 100%.
100%.
All right, Roshan. Good night. Good to see you.
morning.
We missed you down. Good morning. All right. We missed you last night. Hope you got the rest you needed.
Yeah, I did. Sure did.
I
Are you
did,
sure
slowly
about
backing up.
Yep.
Hey, Fen wouldn't know.
And click, and the door is shut. Roshan, you scamper back to your room. Sometimes you forget that they have a lantern of fucking revealing in the party.
You could have asked Nana at any goddamn point about that.
I only
At
thought of
any
it
point.
now.
That's fair. But Nana feels a little bit sad you didn't ask her.
Well, she doesn't know yet.
He doesn't know yet.
Hey guys, welcome to the lore drop episode where we drop lore.
Woo! Here we go, boys!
Roshan, you set up. And get comfortable. There is like a bit of a small side table you're able to like pull over so you could like place the lantern atop it and like angle the book next to it. Lights up like a fucking Christmas tree. Words bleed onto the pages as if the ink is just freshly pushing into the pages as the light scatters across it. This book has become very available to you. And all it costs is some ink or oil. Maybe both. We'll see. Go ahead and roll me investigation. Arcana is moot at this point.
18.
Okay. You rifle through a very full notebook, like full to the brim, and some of the issues become like, I wrote in a couple places, so you're like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out what's me and what's him. That's easy enough. But you start scanning for keywords, and it's all very specific. You do have to keep it tilted into the light. Any fidget away from it, words start to fade and then come back.
I mean, I suppose it helps the handwriting's totally different.
Yeah. Ave writes like a doctor, I only can assume, is that his handwriting is near
impossible
illegible.
scrawl.
What
just
the
like
hell
the
is...
worst chicken scratch. What
Oh,
the
yeah,
fuck is this rune,
That's
Ave?
the part that's hard. It's not the magic. It's just that the man write too fast. As you scan, and this does lean a bit more into kind of the idea of more like an actual journal. And you look for anything that like just like jumps out at you. And it's just like some basic things happening, go under, whatever. Shuffle, 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 flip. Places of power. And those words stand out to you. And you think that might be a good spot to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
It stands out against other words that just did not seem to hold as much weight. And you see a list, and it is listing the places where the gods fell. There's the Forest of Eden, and after that is listed the waters and Mimir's well. You see the coast of night listed after, coral bones beneath the swell of waves. You see Skull City, and says after, self-explanatory, might be safest and most reliable. Is the power limited? Ave is known to write in questions. A lot of questions for himself to answer at later dates. And then a bit of space, you see the Trickster's Lighthouse. No obvious corruption. Still useful, question mark. And then you see Cliffs of Freya. No obvious corruption. And then you see it goes into much more detail about Skull City. That is the extent of this passage. It seems to be a to-do list at the beginning. Contact Chief Hollister's daughter, Leah. And he begins to write about this woman, Leah, who he refers to as an unlimited, unending supply of information, just as she says the skull is. Its power never waning. We ask her about bigger projects. She says she does not know. I requested input from Dagwood. She says it will kill me if I try. The skull is poorly contained power and cares not for my drive. I think there must be a way to wield more power from this, more than the lights and the cars they move about the place. If I do not do this, I continue to flounder uselessly. How do I fill the immeasurable void left by the gods? Contacted Leah. She says she knows a man with similar interests. This man appears to be secretive but well off. I need to acquire more information about him and this city's kiln, the bringer of light.
Can you repeat that part?
No problem. I need to find out more information about the city's kiln. Kiln is capitalized. And then comma, bringer of light. And then written very hastily at the bottom of all of this. Uncooperative and dangerous, but useful. That is the information you acquire tonight. Happy to elaborate or repeat.
I think I got most of it.
I can also give you stuff later if it's for note purposes.
Does it seem like there's a chance that this man with several common interests could be McKeel or McKell?
That is something you would have to decide. There is no mention of a name McKeel. You don't see it there.
And do I know where the Chief Hollister or his daughter Leah are from?
I would say this is easy enough. Based on what you're reading, they are residents of Skull City.
Okay. So the city's kiln might also be in Skull City?
That is the assumption.
Okay. Oh no, I guess we'll have to go to Norse Disneyland.
Oh no, we have to go to Skull City. Ooh.
Oh no. The place we've all wanted to go our entire lives.
I don't think most of the West would agree with that sentiment, but sounds like we're going anyway.
We're not in the West anymore anyways.
Seth Scott Center.
Just watched my bangs just like do a full flip upwards. That is the rest of your night into morning, Roshan. Gorbjorn.
Great.
You fall asleep. Maybe a little bit of dread, but you've had a lot to drink, so that's dampened. And then you're laying in bed. And it's the same situation as it was, where you are unmoving and unable to speak, and that sense of being hunted becomes stronger and stronger. And you can hear the creak of wood in the room. And your eyes are stuck on the window. And you can just see the tail end of some sort of shadowed figure that moves along the floor, and you know it is at the edge of the bed right out of your eye line. And you watch as just like little sort of twisted like fingers reach up along the edges. And the thing forces itself upwards and onto the bed. And before you, encased in shadow, staring you in the eyes, putting pressure on your chest, you see a pumpkin. And it looks at you like, what the fuck, man? And that is where we're going to take our break today. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to take a 10-minute break and we'll get back to the story. Go get a snack, go get a drink, and we're going to talk to a pumpkin. See you guys in 10 minutes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Code for episode 81 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break. We had a moment with Roshan and the Shadow and a sort of gathering of power and maybe a buck up sort of conversation. And a bit of a lore drop as Roshan finds a way to read more detailed notes from Ave's journal. And we left off with Gorbjorn still in this sort of waking dream state with the thing that had been hunting him. And it was the pumpkin that he had thrown onto the ground and destroyed. Maybe like a week ago, a little bit less than a week ago. Currently, this large pumpkin figure sits atop your chest. And it is just the shadows of it that form like facial features. Fuck was that?
Can I talk now?
You can it takes like a moment to get there, but you can.
The fuck is this?
You just picked me up and just... What? Sorry, it's emotional. Listen here. And it like leans in and you feel it like shuffle up on your chest. Listen here. You fucked up, buddy. I'm gonna make your life a living hell. I'm gonna give you the curse of the Gourd. And just like these like tangled vine hands start to just like engulf your head. And it's just like, it is just, you can't move. It's just, what the fuck, as your face is enwrapped in vines.
Just disgruntled cursing as vines go through my mouth.
And
This is not my kink.
and then as the darkness is fully taken over by these vines entangling over your eyes, you wake up the next morning. Curse of the Gourd, baby.
Curse of the Gourd.
My head a
baby.
pumpkin.
You look in the mirror, is pumpkin. You can take like a moment to like examine yourself and you like look over and you don't see anything different.
Pumpkin.
If he cuts his arm off, is he pumpkin meat inside?
Hey, there's only one way to find out. If you would like to cut his arm off.
Ellen, there's only one way to know. I cut my head off.
I'm gonna learn today. Tordrekt's like, what? Why? Trying to explain it to the party afterwards.
Three diamonds
like,
in my
"What?"
pocket, but
I love imagine like waking up and there's just like a point where like Gorbjorn's just like about to take a dagger to his arm. It's like, what? No, and it's like,
oh my god.
But you all eventually wake up. Roshan, you have not had enough downtime yet. But it can be acquired as long as you keep it chill for a few more hours.
Yeah.
Be rolling
Things are-
out on the cart. We
things
still
are
got
chill.
Thick Biscuit.
I'm very chill.
Roshan brought bread for breakfast.
Oh,
Yeah.
isn't that kind of you? Thank you, Roshan. Where'd you get that?
A bakery to the north.
We'll have to look them up on the next way through, assuming we pass through same town on our way back home. But yes, these are
Perhaps.
wonderful.
I just wanted to do something domestic for the party.
That was very kind of you.
Listen here, you silly
Thank you,
bitch.
Roshan.
Hey guys, we're playing bingo.
Yeah. Lillian swore she would
I
never
asked-
explain this again over her dead body, but she's gonna do it anyway.
I'll do it anyways. We're playing bingo. Each character has a bingo sheet with things that they can accomplish over time. If they get bingo, they get I was about to say an experience point, like that means
Ooh.
something. You get 1 point of experience. They get an inspiration point. And if they fill the sheet, they get a magic item of their choice. Yes, Nana.
Wanted to know if Nana could, like, I don't know, feel anything. Feel
Do
like
something
there's any, like,
domestic for the party. I don't know.
no, Nana wants to know if there's any, like, what's the turn of phrase that I'm looking for? Not packed meaning, but like something where it's like he's finding a way around saying things.
Subliminal message. I don't know.
No, Roshan
Never
just
quite
took
did that.
the shadow to heart and is trying to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
playing bingo. You roll insight. He's
That's
playing
valid.
bingo.
That's fair. That's true too. Also, Shadow Daddy said, "Start doing things for other
Hey,
people."
how about you not be so awful? I guess.
Fine, bread for my friends.
Yeah.
We good now?
Yes.
And
Your friends do like the bread.
watching your friend, like, it's genuine smiles from the group, and there is that sort of rush of serotonin for just a moment, and just like a sensation in the chest. It's definitely not as strong as like when you were with Egil, but it is you feel good about what you did.
Love that for me.
I love that for you too, honestly.
I
think you need more of that.
Love it.
It's great.
Just keep the bread coming. Just keep bringing us bread.
Yeah, just keep
We're all
bringing
happy
us
for
bread.
you.
You'll fill up your bingo sheet in no time.
Yeah, everything else on the sheet is just bring
Just
party bread.
Bring party bread. That could
You
be
heard the
worth than
DM.
everything else.
You heard her. You all are there. You have bread to eat. You are gathered. You are at the edge of town. Is there anything you guys would like to do or talk about before you leave? What's up? But I'll say the things that are important real fast, because last time you guys just watched me flip pages aggressively for like 5 minutes because I couldn't find what I was looking for. But you guys are heading towards Port Noatan, which is if you go south and then you just take the hard east, you will eventually hit that this kind of nice fishing community. But it's a hot trek away. It's going to take you guys close to 9-10 days, maybe. It depends. It's going to be a trek. Yes, Nana.
Before we leave town, since it's going to be that long a time between civilized areas, Nana's, I think either, if I may backtrack a little bit, if she spotted a post office on the way to the inn the night previous, I'd like to say that she dropped off some letters for Valder and for Hertha and her mom. But if that's on the way out of town, then this morning is when that happens. I just don't recall the geography very well.
I'll say this. I don't care enough about the geography to lean either way you do it.
Fair enough. Whenever it happens to have come across Nana's path, she sent off letters for Valder, Hertha, and her mom.
The letters were in your hand, and now they are not.
Yep, that happened before we left town. It is
And it
stated
is
and
done.
it is so.
It is real. Canon. You all are still gathered. Is there something you want to do? Rations are easy enough to get. And
Yeah.
the thing is, you will probably pass small communities as you go. It's you're not going to, for very long stretches of time, be with nothing.
Yeah.
So there will be
It's not like we're
a
going
farmhouse
into the valley.
at minimum where you're like,
Yeah.
you got like some bread, like anything's possible.
We can fix up your roof if we can have like a bowl of soup apiece.
We know how to fix roofs. Fen, yes.
Fen, yes, definitely knows how to fix roofs.
Yes, and so last night the topic of thieves' tools came up.
Yeah.
Is there any like sufficiently shady place around that I think that maybe we might think that we could get some?
Maybe
So-
there's a maybe this is a big enough town that
Yeah.
there's like a thieves guild here. You don't know. Maybe there's rogues
Oh, I don't
that
even
set up
want that. I
business.
just
Who
want
knows?
tools.
Sorry, it's a thieves guild now, boys.
They maybe sell thieves tools. I don't know.
Okay, so you take a look around real quick, looking for something shady, and you come across Bob's Bad Boys Bits and Bobs.
Gorbjorn, come with me. You're gonna love this place.
I'm sure he is.
As I was just talking to Thick Biscuit about him,
Mhm.
like, did you see a pumpkin last night?
Just murmuring
no.
softly to the horse, did you see it too?
Did you
Does it
too
haunt
witness
your
the
dreams,
pumpkin
Thick
assailant?
Biscuit?
And then
So
I go
doing-
to Bob's Bits and Bobs.
Bob Bit Bobs.
Bob's Bad Boys
Bits and
Bit
Bobs.
Bobs. Yeah.
At what
Um,
point does Gorbjorn's musings to Thick Biscuit become a concern for the party? Is my concern.
Well, so far it's only happened once, so
Fair enough. We'll
and we
see.
all love Thick Biscuit.
We do. That is true. Nana actually takes up Gorbjorn's place as he like vacates the Thick Biscuit space, and Nana's trying to like offer him like an apple or some shit, trying to like
Hey,
make
Nana,
friends.
what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is a 16.
Okay. Your lantern is missing. There you go. Two of you
Roshan
run off.
Is
Yes.
sitting on the back of the cart reading Ave's journal with the
You like
lantern.
glance over and you're like, ah, like
Oh, I don't. Has Fen had an opportunity to mention Roshan's nighttime visit?
would you have told Nana?
No, Fen ate his bread and went
Yeah.
back to meditating.
Yeah, so it's just he has that now.
There.
Fen might have some breadcrumbs on him, like
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't trade anything.
And 5
Well, I mean,
croissants is
Nana's
too
had
much.
the bread too. It's not like her hands are clean.
oh, but Fen had bread last night and in the morning, so
A lot of bread, many carbs. But Nana, as you're sort of putting the pieces together, like, okay, he's not hiding it, but how he get? Two of you run off to Bob's Bad Boys Bits and Bobs, and you go inside. It is like a shack that does not fit any of the surroundings, and there's just like a guy in the shadow in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh.
I'm just gonna look around.
do you have tools to open locks?
Yeah.
I would like some.
And he just like slaps a little kit down on the counter. Yeah.
Gorbjorn, is there anything you want from these individuals?
Is there anything else cool in this place, or should I just roll a random trinket?
So if there is something in the bad boy category you were thinking of, but you are welcome to roll for a nice trinket. If
Do
can
you
think of
want
some-
a bad boy bit or Bob?
You should ask if the proprietor is Bob or one of Bob's bad boys.
Are you Bob or the bad boys?
Or are you the bits? I need to know.
Oh,
Which Bob are you? There's two Bobs in this title. So
are
go
you
ahead,
bits?
roll on the chart if you'd be so kind.
There could even be multiple Bobs beyond just
73.
two.
73.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
I love
That
it.
sounds
Oh,
good.
10 out of
Oh
10.
boy. Oh boy.
You look around and it is a mixture of utilitarian things and knickknacks to some extent, and some things that you would be like art with like a question mark. But something catches your eye. You see what looks like an intricately painted egg sitting on just a tiny little display. And it looks like somebody like chipped away at the front so you could see like inside of the egg. And there's like beautiful filigree on the outside. On the inside, is a depiction of what I would almost refer to as like the Judeo-Christian hell. It is just creatures torturing humans, and it is a scene of misery and death and blood painted intricately on the inside of this egg.
I'll take that and like the pickled human nose and just
Yeah. So he kind of looks it over and he like looks at like the kit and he's like, yeah, and he like looks at your things and he like, yeah. And he like gives a nod. So for the kit, it is going to be 25 gold.
Love you, fan.
And I'm gonna say in Thieves' Cant, the equivalent of, I'm not one for money, but that seems a bit steep.
In my mind, Thieves' Cant is very much just like, so are there usually this many pigs at the farm? It's kind of just odd
like
phrases.
turns of phrase that equate to other things.
Yeah. But 1 second, real quick. Is everything okay in the kitchen? Okay.
You just go like,
We love you,
wow,
Greg.
your uncle has too many pink cats, and it's just like,
It's like,
yeah.
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 He kind of gives you a look over. You can go ahead and try to roll persuasion.
Okay, I'll try.
You can do your best.
Go for it, my dude.
It's a 15.
He kind
Is
of like
that your
looks you
worst skill?
over and he like raises an eyebrow. And he kind of just like makes a motion with his hand over the items on the counter. 25 for all of it.
Also in Thieves' Cant, if my friend's all right with that, so whatever, like, hey, I gotta ask the man upstairs, or whatever the equivalent is.
Gotta talk to the old lady, and you turn to
Yeah.
Gorbjorn.
Yeah.
Right.
What does a duck gotta do with
His eyes have been slowly narrowing
It's
through the
okay,
conversation.
it's okay.
But the total will end up being 25 gold pieces for all three things. The pickled nose. I love it, and I'm glad it's here. It is pickled nose, painted egg, lockpick.
painted egg of hell?
Yeah, it was like
It's a
egg
big old
painted
fucking
with
egg.
like disturbing torment, and I'm like, oh my god,
At least
that's
it's not
great.
feet.
This.
That's my favorite, and I'm glad it's now here with us.
The try-hard egg is truly the greatest artifact we have ever found.
I know we have this cool box, shashunk, but have you seen this
egg though?
Um,
This hell egg.
you all reconvene at the cart.
While Fen and Gorbjorn are absent, Nana kind of does want to, like, low-key inquire with Roshan while there aren't as many people to, like, listen in on the conversation. She doesn't want to call him out in front of the party, but she does kind of want to just say, I'm glad you're getting good use out of that lantern, but you could have asked. I would have been happy to give it to you.
Sorry, I didn't know I needed it until 4 a.m. and
Oh.
Fen was already awake, and I traded him bread for it. So, do you want it back? You can have it.
Honestly, at the moment, we're traveling in broad daylight. Chances are slim we're going to have need of it, pressingly. You're welcome to make use of it.
I'll let you know if I find anything not shitty from Ave's journal, because he's hidden shit in here in multiple different ways.
Well, it rather does seem like he was more accustomed to hiding things than I ever realized. And, honestly, tell me the shitty things, along with the good. Please.
I guess I haven't come across anything shitty. I just haven't discerned the meaning of anything yet. But the latest bit I came across was that he was working with a Chief Hollister of Skull City, his daughter, Leah. was.
Do I know those names?
You rack your brain for a moment, and you don't know if it makes you feel better or worse that Ave has never said either of those names in your presence.
And I didn't come across them when I was helping Hertha with her letter working for Chief
I don't
stuff.
think never came up.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Josh, but
No, that's it. It sounds like he was trying to work out some kind of major spell work with her, whether that was eventually what happened in Galunder, I'm not sure. I didn't get any like further thoughts on that reading it, did I?
In which category? I'm sorry.
Is what he was trying to work out with that list and the chief's daughter Leah, was that the beginnings of the ritual that we did in Galunder, or something? Did it seem like something else, or was it just too vague to know?
Roll intelligence. You can roll Arcana.
Okay. Only a 15.
From what you know about the ritual for Ave and what you are reading currently, if they are connected, you have not seen the vein of it yet.
Okay. So it's either something new entirely that he's managed to hide in here. I'm not sure. I'll keep reading.
please do, and please let me know what you find. I don't mean to sound greedy. The more I hear of Ave from other folk who knew him, the more I find I feel I don't know him at all. And I don't know how to feel about that. What about you?
I think Roshan clams up a little bit at that, but then eventually says, I understand him more and more with each passing day. He truly was selfless to the detriment of himself and everyone around him.
Well, let me ask you then. What do you think it means that I've been trying to lead like he would have led? Do you think I'm making the wrong decision? Do you think I'm leading us poorly?
I don't think you're leading in the same fashion that he would, and I think that's probably a good thing for at least everyone here's sake. You're not sending yourself off on a suicide mission to save our little part of the world. And under his breath he'll say, and fuck everything else.
Is it enough under his breath that Nana has to try to hear it, or is it
He's
just under his breath enough that it's not like idle gossip someone would hear?
Yeah, I don't want people thinking that we're the problem with the corruption heading east. We're keeping that on the DL.
That's fair. Okay. So that's just between us.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Well, thank you. I want to make him proud, but The more I think about it, the more I feel that if he'd been wholly right, if he'd had everything perfect, would things have gone like they had? Would the ritual have done what it did? Would
I think
he have died like he did?
we succeeded in every aspect of his plan.
That's the thing, though. Yes, we followed his plan to the letter, and it seems to have had, she also says under her breath, unintended side effects. And
I can't tell
don't-
from his writings whether he intended this or it's just how things played out. But
I mean, maybe he didn't have enough time to plan for it. Who knows?
I hope for our sake it's the latter.
Do let me know as you find out more about the journal. And please hold on to the lantern. Honestly, I think, at least for the time being, it's more a beacon than anything else in any other context, but finding out more from that book.
I'll let you know once I finished and anything I learn along the way.
Thank you, Roshan. Honestly.
Of course.
Meow, 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 meow.
There's so many
There's
cats.
still a lot of cats around this part
There's
of town, huh?
so many cats.
There's so
Just-
many cats.
And there was Tordrekt sitting at the front of the cart, very much
Uh-huh.
facing forward, very
Yeah,
aggressively for this conversation.
Of course he was. He was like, not going to interrupt.
I'm just, if I stand still, they can't see me. But eventually, with an extra nose, the party reconvenes at the cart and is ready to start following the road.
Is Gorbjorn just showing off the nose when he gets to the cart? Like, look what I found!
Put
I
it on my
feel like
crown. Like,
I
just
feel
an
like he
extra-
would just keep that in his pocket. It's like that was weird. Okay.
I'm just making choices now, and you just throw it into the bag and
Yeah,
fold
you
it.
know.
Maybe if you go into an intimidation thing, you can hang it on the shark tooth's crown.
There you go.
You just start
Just be
collecting
like-
enemy noses, like
This is the last man who stood against me.
It seems like a conversation piece.
true. You just put it on the
Certainly
desk.
an
You're like,
icebreaker.
would you like to talk about this? And they're like, no.
Not at
Really
all.
prefer not to. But the party is back together, and Thick Biscuit begins to lead the way. Now, I would love to know who's going to be our lookouts for today. It can be 2 people. You can either both roll or somebody gets advantage, one or the other.
I'll be right out in front, keeping watch.
That seems like the best perception score to be doing so, and I'm happy to lend the help action unless somebody else is dead set on doing so.
All right, I then will roll with advantage then. Is 24.
Perfect.
Hell yeah, dude.
So aware, eyes so open.
Nice to get a roll.
As you guys start to go along, Roshan, as long as you're chilling in the back, eventually you do get your long rest finished. But you realize it is a bit hard to read the book while in motion.
Mm.
So for the fancifulness of it, it will have to be more of a stationary task. But that is okay. You continue on the road. This is a busy enough area. Travelers, merchants, traders, up and down the place. Some people pulled off on the side. You can see some people like pulled over and are talking to each other in some places. Some people have pulled over and are feeding their horses. There are people who are just going by. Occasionally you see like a lone person on a horse just blow past everybody. There are some people on foot. It is just a pretty active area as you continue southward. Pretty uneventful. Fen, about probably an hour before you would normally like be like, let's start figuring out where we're going to kind of get things together and set up for the night. You see a cart pulled over on the side, and you see a few people sort of walking around. There is a barrel out on the back, and there's one person holding it, and there's another person like striking the top with a mallet. And all of these people are hooded in the same dark hoods.
All right, everyone, you know those assholes from everywhere? They're the ones we hate. They're tapping a keg down the road.
They're partying down the street.
Which ones that we hate?
The ones with the hoods and the chickens that go boom.
You're certain it's them?
I'm not certain it's them, but it looks a lot like them.
Well,
And they're doing the thing
rather
that
a big difference between them and just any old person
well,
on
we
the
should
side
get
of the
we
road.
should get closer, but we should get closer with caution.
I think we could just avoid them. I don't want to party with them.
I don't want to party with them either, but they're doing the thing that Tordrekt does with the keg and the hammer and
Tordrekt like leans forward and like squints his eyes. I'd have to get a closer look.
Oh no.
if
Careful.
Nana and I brought back details for you, would you be able to tell us if that's what they're doing?
We'd be as detailed as we possibly could, and we've got very good eyes.
Maybe. He takes an eye around the scenery,
You can
which
tell
is
us what to look
not
out for.
ideal.
All right, so
you could try.
so like the whole sneaking past them with a cart and a horse thing, they're off the side of the road. Like, does that seem possible whatsoever?
Sneaking past them, no. Riding past them, yes.
They would
will
notice
see.
if we passed by.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, it
pass
just
by 'em.
depends if it would affect them or not.
Well, I mean, Roshan, I respect your opinion on many things, but how do we know they won't be hostile to anyone passing by, let alone us?
Well, if they're hostile, we get out of the cart and kick their ass.
Oh, there is that, but I'd
Is
rather
there
not
anything-
provoke a confrontation if we could avoid it.
Well, is there anything we can learn from
Then
them,
don't
from what
hit
they're
them.
doing? They're
We do have orders from Valder to not engage.
True.
Do you want to not engage, Nana?
I'd prefer not to get entangled if we possibly can avoid it.
Oh,
I think that speed would be better served. in
we'll
this
not
case.
engage due to the fact that Nana's engaged, and we'll not get entangled on the fact that Nana's entangled says we shouldn't.
Politically!
We will not get entangled politically.
Oh, God damn it.
And like gets the horse back to normal speed because Tordrekt sort of slowed it down a bit. Like, what are we doing? Okay.
I will. How long will it take? Will it take less than 10 minutes to like pass them and get out of sight from them?
Fully out of sight, maybe not.
Nana, what if you and I, as sneakily as possible, run a wide berth around them, try to get as much information as we can, being as stealthy as we can, passing without a trace, and meet back up with our crew on the other side. And we'll try to learn about what they're doing.
Real quick, would pass without trace by any stretch of the imagination cover the totality of our party, including the cart and horse?
It would be like you were ghosting the cart. Like
Okay.
we would all be like ducked inside the cart and they'd be like, the fuck?
Clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. There goes a horse and no driver. Bye.
As Nana dwells on that, Fen, you kind of look back over, and with your high perception, you could see somebody seems just as equipped. There's somebody sitting on the back of the cart, head fully in your direction, in the direction of the cart, but is currently just sitting on the back of the cart, has not made any sort of move.
Seems to have already been made, so that might not be an option.
Keep going.
All right.
Let's keep going. I will hide our most distinguishing features from view.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm gonna
Hoods.
knock an arrow, but I'm gonna keep the bow and arrow like below the gunnels of the cart, so it, like if we're sitting up on the like side rails of the cart, like
I would love you to roll stealth.
Hoods and coats.
maybe. I mean, it doesn't seem like a
To
thing.
actively knock and put down an arrow? Yeah.
Well, I have a hip quiver, first of all, so that would be a little more. I mean,
either way, you have your bow in your hand, and that's kind of like obvious. Like,
all right, if it doesn't seem like it, if it doesn't feel like it's possible for me to do without the person hundreds of yards down the road, without them seeing, then I won't.
I'm not saying they're hundreds of yards away.
Okay.
I am saying you could attempt this. I'm saying this guy is looking in your direction.
If it felt at all like something that Fen thought would put the party at risk, he wouldn't do it. So I wouldn't do it if I thought that was the case.
All right, then you don't do it.
All right, I don't. Do it.
As we pass, Roshan. Well, before we pass, Roshan's going to cast Major Image just to subtly disguise us.
It changed me a lot.
Really just mess me up, man.
Make me into a Goliath.
Well,
yeah.
I'm also wearing a bunch of stolen shit. So.
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, we'll quietly disguise the stolen shit, make Gorbjorn another color.
I just saw a little pink orc.
Yeah, a pink orc.
This is normal.
Human.
Human color. This is fine. No one will know. Yes, Nana.
I wanted to take a look around and see, as we're passing by, whether or not any of the people around the campfire look to resemble the butcher's daughter, who we are looking for.
Okay. You all take a breath, and the cart pushes forward.
Yep. Just passing by. We're
Very
chill.
normal, very
Yep.
casual.
Yeah.
You see that all of them, all 5 of these cloaked figures, have fully stopped what they're doing. And Fen, now from this angle, now that all of you are close, you can all see them now. There was a person more behind the cart and sort of like twisted up in leathers in his hand. He is holding the leashes for 3 large dogs. And the dogs are just sitting casually. And the guy has a solid grip on them, but they have all fully stopped what they are doing and are just watching you pass. Nana,
Do
go
they
ahead
look
and roll
like
perception.
living dogs?
They look like living normal dogs.
Okay.
Not for long.
Oh, God.
Not in about 5 minutes, boys.
Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen. Perception, oh, God. Didn't roll super well. It's only an 11.
Hoods up. They are fully hooded. The one who has his head the most up is the one who spotted you. You can see that he has a glaive that is propped up against the cart, has not touched it.
Okay.
No hands near it. They're just kind of like hands kind of draped across his lap.
Cool.
His is the only face you can see sort of scruffily tanned, sort of scarred face, just from like a hardworking person's life.
Okay.
I feel like Tordrekt would give him a hello from
Oh, yeah.
the blessing of the Nine Sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course he would. He'd be
Tordrekt
that
looks to
kind
them
of
and kind of gives them
cleric.
like a really big nod, and the blessing of the Nine Sisters upon all of you, he says. And
Ooh,
ooh, woo.
Ooh.
The Nine Sisters, ooh, woo.
Ooh.
And
Missing
the
a
man's
joke
like,
somewhere.
what the fuck?
that's a reason alone for an encounter.
He grabs his glaive.
No!
I gotta do something. No, he
God.
watches. And he gives like a little bit of a smile. You can see like he's missing a tooth like off on the side a bit. As you all at a very normal pace roll by.
Very calm. Very normal.
Yord's blessing upon you. And smiles.
Huh.
Tordrekt gives like an appreciative nod back.
Uh-huh.
And they all just watch as you roll by. One of the guys, they stopped dealing with the barrel, and the guy is like stopped and he's like leaning on it. You can tell in the back there are a few more barrels. The cart is covered, so you can only assume there's probably more barrels in the back, but
Are the Damn, I can't ask if the barrels are magic.
question, are the barrels magic?
I don't know.
Sure.
Nana
You'd
doesn't
have no
know.
idea. But
From the observations that we've made, are these pretty clearly cultists, or do we misidentify them from a distance?
it is the same type of hood. That is the most I could give you. It is a dark gray hood.
Okay. And any more details on what the barrels are? There's no like international fire
Is Fenna Cooper?
prevention labels on them or anything like that.
I would like Tordrekt
Yeah.
to roll and see if he can do some identifying with this barrel. I want him to roll something good.
History with
How-
advantage.
Barrel history. He goes into a tangent, and I will not do a tangent about barrels.
well, you
How
see
about
the
we just
Coopers
do,
of the.
I'll take perception or investigation on this. Either one. I'm not picky.
Advantage because it's beer related.
Advantage because he is looking for something beer related.
Yes. So then that would be a 22.
There
Hell
you go.
yeah.
Perception.
Hell yeah, buddy.
He just kind of glances over. He had a vague conversation with them, so he looks in their direction.
Not weird if he does.
And then he kind of like turns back and he sort of like looks for like ahead again as he's driving the cart. They're not tapping it.
The keg,
So,
you mean?
yeah, they're not tapping it.
It's a curse of the Gourd.
The what?
Gorbjorn's eyes widen. He's like, oh, fuck.
Pardon? Sorry?
It seems
What Gourd?
they just seem hefty. The reinforcements on them. Hefty.
Do
Do
they?
you think they're carrying something stronger than ale?
Like swords.
They're probably carrying dead dogs, Roshan keeps to himself.
I mean, that's definitely what's going through Nana's head.
Who would kill
Something
dogs?
like it anyway.
Tordrekt shrugs his shoulders. He does not know. He cannot see through the barrel.
Do you think? Do you really think they're killing dogs?
He didn't say that
Roshan
aloud.
said
So
that in his own head. He said it
Oh.
in his own head. But like, there's something
Roshan, tell
similar.
me. Tell me
Tell
no.
me! But like seriously, Nana's kind of like curious, like, is this just like a bajillion chickens stacked on top of each other percolating in corruption or something inside this keg? Who knows?
You don't know.
What color are the
That's
kegs?
a new kind of
What color
powder
are the
keg.
barrels?
They are a dark brown wood.
Okay, they're not like red. Like you shoot a fire arrow here, they explode.
No, it is not
Okay.
like video game, please shoot me energy.
here's a
It
bunch
does
of
not
useless
have
traits
an
and one
orange
awkward.
exclamation point over
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you see the guy in the back keeps like a sturdy foot sort of outwards as the dogs sort of just keep moving. Like they can't go forward, but they turn to like follow your cart. And the guy just keeps like you could see just like the veins sort of popping out on this guy's arm as he's just holding those leashes.
Those dogs do look like they did get our scent, don't they?
Those dogs have noses. They are not actively like sniffing you. They are actively watching you and wanting to move forward.
I don't want to kill dogs.
No,
I really don't
I
want to
don't
kill
either.
dogs.
I think we should be very careful about what we leave behind while we're traveling between towns, even in towns.
Well,
I don't think we want anything we leave leading anyone our way.
Would it be advantageous for us to try and lead them astray? Do you think they're going to follow us?
I have an idea.
I'm willing to hear
Let's
your
get down the
idea.
road a bit. I can't say it when they're so close, you know.
All right, that's
Those
fine.
dogs have good hearing. You're like, you guys continue forward silently. I will say, just for clarification, their cart is facing the opposite way. That means nothing, but that seems to be the direction they were heading.
Back towards the town we just left.
Yeah.
Yes, theirs
Okay.
is facing that way.
I'm gonna throw some jerky out the back of the cart. Just every couple 100 feet. Just gonna throw a couple of sticks of jerky out.
No, that's
Did
food.
I
I'll eat
not
that.
just say we should not lead the dogs in our direction?
We should. They know
Keep your
what direction
food.
we
Keep
were
your
on.
food.
They know the path
Yeah.
that this cart
Then
was
what if you
You're
wanna
taking.
not trying to
grab the
like
food?
take the jerky out of your hand. It's like,
That's our jerky. No, like we'll throw jerky at the dogs when it gets to that point.
In order to throw them
There
off
will
our
be a
trail
time
when
for
they are
throwing some
actively
jerky.
on our trail, Fen,
we
not to lead them on the trail in the
We
first
could juke
place.
them. We could juke them.
Well, there's we don't even know if we're juking anybody. They could have just been there on the side of the road, you paranoids.
but what if, and like as you guys are going, you hear like one of the men like he barks a command, and it's the word heal.
Okay.
And the dogs relax after you guys have like made a bit of distance. It carried on the wind.
Okay. All right. So obviously they're not sending any dogs after us so far as we can tell.
The dogs are currently not actively running after the cart at full speed.
That's good.
But you guys are a good distance away now.
Okay. Are we far enough now, Gorbjorn?
Yes, my plan worked.
Oh,
Pardon?
master
Curse of the
plan.
Gourd.
It was all according to plan.
Tordrekt's nodding like he understands fully.
Was this something to do with the Gourd? I'm very confused.
We don't talk about the curse of the gourd.
What is the curse?
His eyes
of
get
the
so far
Gourd?
away.
I'm very confused. Where did it even? There was that pumpkin.
We still have part of it.
Oh,
Do
I'll
we?
eat it. Oh, I'll eat it.
You rip it out of the bag and you start munching on it.
I don't care
Um,
how rotten it is. I'm just like
and-
crying
Gorbjorn,
and
that's
angry.
weeks old.
Gorbjorn.
And it looks immaculate.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's
It does
never-
not look bad at all.
The gourd went into my mouth, so I'm like, okay, eat the pumpkin.
I bet it's gonna come out just like it went in.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. Fuck if I know. Eat magical things, gain powers, right?
Yeah, you just start eating it.
That's
Drink a
Gorbjorn's
bowl of
life
fear beer.
philosophy. Yeah, exactly. Get stronger.
Ooh, random blood in a jar.
Hey.
uh, you all
Use
are-
Loki's leg as a back scratcher.
yeah, Loki's leg's still part of the party. In it for the long haul. You guys are continuing forward. No need for conflict.
No need.
Not a
They were
single
friendly
need.
enough.
I'm gonna.
They said hi and they gave
They
you
didn't-
blessings of a god.
hmm
Mhm. They didn't aggress upon us, but they did mention specifically the god of the town we left 2 towns back where we left.
They did not.
Specifically.
They said Njord, I thought.
Yeah,
They
that-
said they said Yord.
Oh, Njord.
Sorry, the names
Oh.
are very similar.
Yes, they
Okay,
are.
I
Okay.
thought that I had missed a syllable.
Nope, it is
Nope.
Yord.
Oh.
Who's
Hmm.
who's
What do we know about
Yord?
Yord? What do we know about
Anybody
Yord?
proficient or half proficient in religion may roll.
Let
Okay,
me have a
Tordrekt.
look. See, I
Tordrekt
don't
can.
think I am. Tordrekt, 100%. Religion, no, I'm not at all.
21 for Tordrekt.
Hell yeah, Tordrekt,
17.
bring it!
Icy.
Not bad at all, Roshan, honestly.
Yeah, Roshan, it's like, oh, and then Tordrekt's like, his eyes open. He's like, I know.
Calculus behind the eyeballs.
Yord is one of the names for the goddess that is supposed to be the manifestation of the earth and nature. She is, that is her domain.
Oh, I feel like I should
Tordrekt
know
would
that.
know. The reason you may not know this is Tordrekt like dwells on it and starts telling you about it. She is the goddess of nature, but for in terms before us, she is the goddess of an unpopulated earth.
Huh.
Oh, all right. Seems like a good one. We should.
An earth with no people, with no life?
Sounds ideal.
What sort of...
All of you are like valid. Yeah. Everyone nodding.
I get
honestly,
it, I'm a
half the
monster.
people I've met I haven't cared for.
This
but I've
Bosch guy
honestly
has the right idea. He's just
Does
a
she have a
little
Patreon?
However, there is the lot of you I like, and my entire village, and, you know, quite a lot of other individuals that we've met that I rather enjoyed and would not like to see wiped from the face of the planet, so...
also valid.
I suppose.
You guys always sound pro Bosch half the time. It's just like, man, that guy, he almost got it.
So Yord is...
You weren't such a
Yord
handful.
is not associated with Idun?
Not in this context.
Interesting. Idun is understood to be dead. Yord is understood to be a different god?
They are not the same person.
Okay. I don't know. You've already revealed that Freya and Lady Satyr were, in actuality, the same person.
Could these
but
be the same person? Perhaps. That is not what I am saying to you at this moment.
fair enough.
I have not stated that.
Fair enough. That is not canon per any DM statement as yet made.
You may put on your tinfoil hat and think as you please, but Yord is the goddess of nature, more specifically for an unpopulated earth.
The natural Earth as it appears
Yes.
without civilization, I guess, is the understanding?
The understanding, yes.
Okay. Very Bosch.
So Bosch.
Since the group's paranoid, I'll keep a lookout behind us to see if they get anything funny
Pumpkins.
planned.
That's appreciated.
You set up on the back of the cart.
Look out for any pumpkins that might be aggressing upon us.
At least he knows it's a pumpkin now. The cart continues forward. Gorbjorn, go ahead and roll me perception.
Pumpception?
Nope. I don't
Okay.
like pumpception. I'm not a
That
fan.
sounds a lot
Not a
worse
fan. I
than
need you to
what
pick a
think.
different one.
So I got a 23.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So aware. The curse of the
Ooh.
gourd just make me see good.
Yeah,
I'm super
I
paranoid
am paranoid
now.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just eyes wide. You just like blink one eye at a time. You're like, can't miss it. You don't think you're being pursued.
Ooh.
Cool.
You don't see anything.
Cool.
I'm gonna
Seems
relax.
that you did not pique their interest, or they do not care. And you'll take either.
I'll thank Roshan for his great magic, and then as I'm patting him with the other hand, I want to slip in some coin.
All right, sleight of hand.
Ah,
Ooh, baby. Rolling hot for some weird things today.
Of
That's-
course.
That's a 21.
That certainly
Do-
beats his passive perception.
Do I see him do that?
Is your passive perception a 21?
No.
No. Then
No.
nobody sees this happen. It is perfect. This is his bread and
Amazing.
butter.
Josh, pick a number through 1 through 3.
2, 3.
20.
I lied. 3.
30 gold.
Damn.
Holy shit! God damn!
Hang out with me. You guys continue on for another hour. At this point is when you would normally settle down. Would you like to set up or keep going?
Is there any estimation of how much further we'd have to go to reach a populated settlement? Or
You
a
passed the
farmhouse?
occasional thing. You don't know what's ahead. You've passed things in the past, but
Okay.
forwards, unsure.
Well, everything's in the
Okay.
past.
Wow. Holy shit.
Nice that
Except
it's
for
a bit cold.
tomorrow.
It's a bit cold.
Oh
We can have a bundle.
no! But tomorrow will be in the past after tomorrow. No, never mind.
So would you guys
Um,
like to keep going into the night, or would you like to set up shop?
I don't think it serves us to travel through the night.
Let's bubble.
There's the one
Let's-
person who can't see in the dark. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Well, I also
Called
would not,
Out.
not be exhausted, as I still don't know what this Gourd curse does. So
Yeah, there's
I'm
some
like-
of us who
Sweating
need
about
to sleep,
curses.
Fen. A couple of us.
That was out of character. I didn't say that. Didn't mean to.
Uh-huh. So you guys are setting up, you're bubbling, you're living the dream.
Yeah.
And
Living that
the bubble
glamping
tries
life.
as best as it can to blend into the scenery.
Perfect.
Can I help with that?
Biscuit stands outside.
Yep.
I mean, I do have these boots that make thing look like
For
home territory,
a
but
short
I don't know
amount
if
of
that would
time.
stand out. Yeah, short amount of time is kind of my concern. Plus, it would stand out compared to everything else around here.
It would look like the
Gulunder.
fresh, beautiful forest of Gulunder in this one spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
near the coast.
Yeah.
Would be a little weird.
Okay. Anything else besides bubbling? Tordrekt does his
Um,
prayers.
Yes, of course he does.
Always, every day.
Nana is writing letters back home. For sure, for sure. She's kind of keeping an eye on Roshan out of one corner of her eye, but she's not like... She's just checking in. She's just trying to make sure he's doing okay.
He's probably twirling pen circles like in debate and reading by the light of a naked man lantern.
Yep.
You know, tranquil.
Yes.
As the men of great art must do.
Yeah.
I don't even think I said the men were naked on this, but all of you
Yeah,
were just
you
like,
did.
they're naked.
100%.
I think I just said they were like picturesque or something, and you're like, naked.
Well, I mean, it's from a dude whose land is based on ancient Greece /
They
Rome,
wore
so-
clothes.
Not on their
but not
pottery.
Not on their pottery, my dude.
Yeah, they did.
100%.
It seemed like the type to carve naked bodies.
We
Also,
want
the only
naked
time I picture men is naked.
You
so-
all are welcome to go back to the episode and tell me if I did that. But I feel like you guys just decided. I'm like, okay, it's canon.
Yeah.
That's
This
what I have
lantern has
written
naked dudes
in-
on it.
I'm
That's
not here
what I
to
have
argue
written in
about
the
it.
description
I
on
just
my
wanted to say
character sheet.
I don't think I said that, but I'm happy it's here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's. Yeah, it is.
in my
Whether
character
Julian said it
sheet.
or not.
Canon.
Just saying.
It's canon.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying some things are made up by the team and some are made up by the DM, and this is made up by the team. And
Okay,
it's
yeah.
beautiful, and I appreciate it.
It's
All I know
Hellenic.
is-
It's
Yeah,
that's
the
the way as it
description
should be.
says
There are naked men on that lantern.
covered in Greek art of buff nude dudes.
That doesn't mean I said those words. You looking at the thing doesn't mean anything. I need the clip. Hey, everybody
Fair
in the
enough.
chat, I need the
I'm-
clip.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
And as you all set up and ogle the naked men of the lantern,
I assume we're like a few feet off of the road.
I'm assuming.
Okay, so like Ben's gonna be 100 feet as the crow flies from the bubble, and he's gonna like set up kind of hidden somewhere the direction that we came to watch and see if anybody's following us once camp is set.
All right. And then Fen steps out and goes to
Want
find a
anybody
place to
to-
set up shop.
Keep you company, or are you all right?
If you want to keep me company for a bit, as long as you get a full night's rest, that's fine. I'd be happy for the company.
I'll take first watch.
All right, come with me.
All right.
First watch
If
happens.
if there are dogs to be pet coming down the road, then I'd like to pet the dogs.
Naturally.
What kind of game would this be if I didn't let y'all pet the dogs?
Obviously, that's the mark of a quality game.
So now it is Roshan, Tordrekt, and Gorbjorn left alone in the bubble. Nana and Fen are like, we'll take first watch and then leave the bubble and go to a different place. And you guys are like, all right.
I guess we'll get naked around this naked lantern.
You all just like kind
Yep.
of shrug and start taking your clothes off.
Bacchanalia, baby!
Tordrekt's
Let's do
already
it!
naked. He's like, what are we doing? And
It's
That
for
is
the gods,
idea.
right? Yeah, definitely.
Nana, do you ever feel like we're missing out on things when we do these little side missions?
I don't know. I kind of get that feeling occasionally, but I sort of just leave it to one side. I don't know if it's
dancing
worth
Yeah, I
shadows
feel
of
like-
naked men in the bubble.
We're playing tag, but yeah,
Everyone's
They're having pillow fights in the nude.
as two of the party members wander off into the cold night in the not warm space of the bubble, and three of them stay there and have a happy, warm, content time. You both stare off down the road, eyes open, hopeful that nothing is following you down.
Is it snowing?
It has been snowing the whole time.
Okay. So it's humid outside, so sound in the dark probably travels further than we can see. I'm listening for a cart coming down the road before even my super dark elf eyes can see, not a dark elf, but like my super elf eyes can see down the road.
Okay,
I'm
you're
listening
specifically
for
a
something
cart.
coming down the road.
I think Nana's definitely putting her listening more to use than her sight as well, since
Because
she
she
doesn't have
can't
dark vision.
see literally anything. So Nana just gets comfortable and it's like, well,
Yeah, as normal during my nighttime watches, and Fen is like, "Ooh, I gotta concentrate for this one."
All right, Nana, here's what I'm thinking. If we need to, you and I can make the sky bubble and we can climb up in there and hide. And then if they approach the bubble, we can have them from both sides. Or if they approach us and they seem non-hostile, you and I both have the capability now of appearing to be someone that we weren't,
True. Yes.
and see what their reaction is to that. It's just my thoughts.
and to clarify, Nana can only change her clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's just the clothes, it's not the face. So.
But you just make the clothes so just like garish
So
that they don't even look at
Nana
your
kind
face.
of like
Yeah.
makes her clothing look a little like the cultist, like hood and
You're-
cloak.
Yeah,
stuff.
you're wearing the cultist clothes.
like this. I don't
We
like
can-
it, but
I don't like it either. You look hideous.
I think
But-
so too. But you suggested it.
But if we need to do that, but you've got the hang of it now. And whatever situation arises, we pick the best option. We either hide in a bubble and ambush them from behind if they approach our people, or we head them off, appearing to be someone that we're not, and perhaps give them misinformation. I've been told that's useful.
I suppose, in some situations. In the future, let's talk this through a little more with the others that we live at camp. It might be a little bit more useful to have someone.
It seems so
Could
busy. They
Steve-
seem so eager to get their clothes off and be in a bubble together.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's harder for us to come from both sides if both sides aren't aware that something's happening.
Well, they're impenetrable in their bubble.
And Gorbjorn is something of an impenetrable wall himself, but I'm just saying it would be probably a little better, tactically speaking, if we had a way
Nothing
to get
may
some
even
message
happen.
to
I'm
them.
just saying.
I understand that, but you're planning for the worst, I'm planning for the worst. I'm just saying it might be easier to plan for the worst if we had a way to talk to the others back at camp.
I just wanted to come here and have the opportunity to potentially pet some dogs, and you asked if you could come along, and I agreed.
Fair enough.
You both
All right,
continue
all
to
right.
go back and forth on the plan, how pet
Uh-huh.
dogs, how kill
Yeah,
guys
no,
if they show
Fenn's
up.
talking about like coming at people from both sides, but he just wants to pet the dogs. It's like
Listen,
he's giving
I'll
me some
kill a
mixed
man,
messages here.
but if I get to pet the dogs, that's even better.
I mean, I understand that motivation 100%.
And you get to hear about that motivation as you
Cool.
close your eyes and listen in on your surroundings.
Mhm.
It is the sound of wind and the creak of the occasional tree as the branches sway. And Gorbjorn, from your position, laying down in the bubble, there's something so incredibly unnerving about watching the branches of a tree sort of sway and creak above you, and it just tightens in your chest a bit, just a bit of fear in the unknown.
Like he doesn't really know fear so much that well, especially tormenting his brain with the fear beer so much. So it's just like kind of like also like this little rage going like, why can't I do anything?
I don't like it.
And at this point, you're not even like stuck. This is just your waking world at the moment that this is kind of scary. And the night progresses. And first watch goes off without a hitch.
Okay.
No
All right, now.
carts coming down the street.
Go to bed. I'll pet the dogs without you.
Fair enough. Anyone in particular that you'd like me to tap instead? Replace me?
No, I'll keep watch. If I Roshan seems to be able to keep things down. I'll hang out here for another 4 hours or so, keeping hidden, and I'll come back to bed with the rest of you after that.
Does Nana know about Roshan's not sleeping thing?
You may not have known about it. It is not something he has openly talked about.
I thought he did
Also-
openly. I thought he did say. Oh, okay.
Also, I don't
Ben
think he
just
can leave the
witnessed it.
bubble. So
Yeah, Fen saw it because he doesn't sleep as much as a lot of the other people and could see the progression through shifts that Roshan was still up.
Send Gorbjorn. He liked the pet dogs. He's got away with dogs.
That's very true. He'll have a way with them if anyone will. All right. Safe watch to you. I'll send Gorbjorn along.
Have sweet dreams.
Thank you. Nana's gonna have some questions for Roshan in the morning, I guess.
Crunch, crunch,
Unless she
crunch,
sees him
Roshan
up.
awake right in the bubble.
Just awake, reading in the bubble.
Yeah, you enter the bubble. Roshan, I'm assuming you'd be up and reading as you are
you're
as
muted,
you are
by the way,
known to
but
do.
yeah.
You enter the bubble. It is much warmer in here, much nicer in here. And Fen, you continue to stare up down the path, listening out for the sound of anything approaching. And that is where we're going to stop for tonight.
Oh.
Thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story, especially when it involves the curse of the Gourd.
The curse of the Gourd!
Here at the Dice Cult, boy howdy, we got a lot of stuff going on. I believe it is every other Tuesday. So is this the on Tuesday? The only way you're going to know if these things are true or not
I
is if
believe
you
this is the
follow us.
on.
This
seems
is
like
off.
the on
This is
Tuesday.
off. They were
Is it
on
off?
Tuesday.
Oh,
Well, we'll go back and forth on this, but the only way to know for
Oh,
sure
no, so Tuesday.
If
Sorry,
you tune
Tuesday.
in
I'm
tomorrow.
wrong.
is if you follow us at the Dice Cult on Twitter, and you will know when anything is going live. But if you are interested on this on and or off week of Legends of Theia, which is one by our dear cleric Frank, it is a nice, I was going to say wholesome. It's definitely like bring
Classic.
a drink. Yeah, it's very classic. Bring a drink, watch some fights, watch some enemies get their shit rocked. You know, definitely that kind of game. Good fun.
Old-fashioned, like, down-home Demogorgon
rolling some
D&D.
dice.
Sometimes you roll some dice and you kill some stuff, and that's a vibe.
That's a vibe.
On Wednesdays, I really need to start writing these down now because it's the on and off weeks. I believe this is the off week.
For Wednesday?
Aha, for
Yes.
Cordially
'Cause
Invited.
They alternate.
yes.
That's how I remembered.
That's right.
This is the off week for Cordially Invited, which
Uh-huh.
is a D&D 5e game that we have over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/thedicecult, which is where you can also watch all past episodes of all the stuff and things. If you're like, why is there a Curse of the Gourd? You can find out. Why
Believe me,
pumpkin?
you should.
But you can watch Cordially Invited over there. It is a lovely game of people trying to plan a wedding, and I'm sure it will go good. And there has not been a lot of violence and terrible things afoot, and I'm sure all is well. There's only
Definitely,
one way to
especially
really find
with
out.
that wild boar out there. It's
I'm
fine.
sure that
It's
is all
fine.
fine and well. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But if you want to know about it, you can come
Yeah.
check out Cordially Invited next week, but catch up this week.
You
Also
gotta see
here at
this
the Dice Cult,
perfectly choreographed wedding.
I'm sure it'll be perfect and we'll go off, bells ringing, no issues.
Hitchless.
If you are interested in being like, boy, howdy, what's happening on Saturdays? Is it D&D? No, it's not D&D. It's Vampire the Masquerade and Last Remaining Light. I'm honestly glad that we, as a group for On the Backs of Gods, did not play last week because I feel like I would struggle to explain what happened and do the recap. But I think we are approaching endgame, boys, for Vampire as the whole time it has definitely been we are at war, but now it's kind of everybody agrees we're all at war and we're all gonna just go for it now.
Oh boy!
And
Also, I understand there are some romances happening.
And maybe confirmed girlfriends. I don't know. Maybe confirmed girlfriends. Terrible, horrible monster girlfriends with like bad morals, but girlfriends nonetheless. So if you just want to be there for that, 10 out of 10. If you could join us on Saturdays for Vampire the Masquerade in the Last Remaining Light, Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. We're currently posting some of the colored versions of some old character art, and it is great to see. Nana
great.
is the most recent addition. If you want to go check that out. Thank you all again.
Looks
We
so
really
good,
appreciate
guys.
you guys being here. We love telling you guys a story, and we will be here same time, same place every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.